It's Reese from the Reese Corner channel. Welcome back to another episode of my Bendy review series. So in today's episode, we're going to be looking at the first piece of Sammy Lawrence merch in this series, which is his action figure. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So here's Sammy as an action figure, and I got to say, he looks pretty good. He looks pretty accurate to how he looks. I'll pull him up right here. Something I should mention, this is Sammy's final design, because just like the Ink Demon, as I mentioned in yesterday's episode, Sammy, as well as the Ink Demon, as well as other characters like Boris, went through a ton of visual design changes throughout development of Bendy and the Ink Machine. This is what Sammy ended up looking like in the final release. This design came with the release of Chapter 4, when they updated Chapter 2 and gave Sammy this brand new model. And I feel like that this final model is what this action figure is made of, is based on. And the real reason why I think this is because of his feet right here. Both this action figure and his final design have like these ink-covered shoes for his feet, which both make sense, and also makes me think this is what this figure, it makes me think of what this figure is actually based on, because for those who haven't seen Sammy's old design, I have it right here. You can actually see his feet were basically non-existent. He didn't have actual feet. They were just two black like splats for feet. He didn't have proper feet. As well as that, he didn't have like he was more thinner, I would say. He didn't have as much muscle as his final design. His current design, both in say Dark Revival and in the final release of Bendy Machine, he was given more of a muscle look, and yeah, it was just made a lot more muscular, much more bulky for more complex animation. But yeah, so that makes me think why this figure is based on the final design, because of the feet. But other than that, this is still a pretty well made figure. I do have some issues with it because, well, as you can see on actually both the final design and the old one, Sammy has a lot of detail on his overalls and stuff, but this figure doesn't have any. There's like zero detail on these overalls, and I feel like with the previous figures we've looked at, like, I feel like they all had like some good amount of detail put into them. Like Boris, when we looked at his overalls, like, yes, it was kind of hard to make out the details, but you could still make them out if you looked hard enough. But for Sammy, they really got rid of all his details on his pants and overalls, and it just looks kind of strange. Like, I look at all these designs of Sammy from the game, and it's kind of weird seeing his overalls without any detail on them. But other than that, it's still pretty fine. His two accessories make a lot of sense with Sammy's character. He's wielding both the axe, which is something he wields both in Chapter 2 near the end, as well most notably during Chapter 5 when you encounter Sammy and have that mini boss fight near the beginning of Chapter 5. As well, he also has a little Bendy cutout, which actually works really well because not only is Sammy notorious for praising the Ink Demon, but also in Chapter 2, your first proper introduction to Sammy, like physical introduction, not in terms of like audio logs, but your first physical introduction to him is when you're walking down a corridor as Henry, and the corridor is full of ink and stuff that's slowing you down, and at the end of the corridor through a doorway, you can see Sammy walking past, and he's holding Bendy cutout like this figure is depicting. So this accessory doesn't only work with as well working with Sammy's character, also works with his first introduction to him in Chapter 2. So yeah, overall this is a pretty good figure, minus the detail missing on the overalls and stuff. I do still think it looks pretty good. You can make out all the detail on his body from like the weird inky texture. And again, it's cool that he comes with the axe and cut out, because again, like, it just fits with Sammy's character. So yeah, that's about it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out the playlist for more. And yeah, see ya.